Hello, everyone. Welcome to the APrIGF 2025. So, even though we have some like difficulties and some changes about the conference conditions, so we still have time and work on really adaptably. So, I'm really appreciate that. So, we still now with like kind of inspiration and motivation for that. And we're gonna to workshop today. Our workshop is about like bridging the digital divide, you access to knowledge, policy, and power. So my name is Minh. So I'm gonna to facilitate here, and we have in five. He's gonna be the speaker today. So our focus today is to move beyond the rhetoric of youth participation, so and analyze the structural mechanism, and then either facilitate or prevent meaningful inclusion in digital policy making. So our agenda today we have 60 minutes, and we will structure to move from the high-level analysis of systemic issues. And it's gonna be fun because we are the young advocate in Southeast Asia, so, and our insight is smallly structural and aligned with like what we are working on and empowering to the young generation. And in this workshop, I'm gonna to introduce like the simulation to generate the policy and finish with the synthesis and alpha findings, and we inform like the call to actions you access to manifesto. Fai, could you have the next slide? So now we are going to introduce a bit myself and a speaker. So my name is Trung, and I'm the youth advocate in Asia Pacific, and I'm also the fellow today to this year. So I'm from Vietnam, so I'm now based in Europe, and my work bridges between digital inclusion, educational equality, and youth participation in governance, and climate justice across Southeast Asia. And now I'm like research fellow with the Basic Income Network. We promote like the social welfare mechanisms and framework, and we want to mobilize kind of the concepts for the more agendas, dialogues. So I'm also like the Wesley of alumnus, so the Young Southeast Asia Leader Initiatives. That's why I'm get to know to this our speaker fight. And today I'm bringing across a regional lens to policy engagement, and I work on the research and the children education and migration across the Europe. So, and about the speaker, so I'm glad to get back with my friend speaker five. He's a social advocate and media communicator and founder of Garis Hitam Indonesia, the only NGO in Indonesia focused on empowering women prisoners and ex-prisoners. With over 8 years of experience in social work, and Rifai have initiatives on digital inclusion, environmental justice, and youth empowerment. So today he will share some of the insights from the digital invite in Southeast in Asia Pacific, and how we can center youth in sharing inclusive digital futures in the case of his area and in West Sulawesi in Indonesia. So it's going to be great and excited to hear from him. So Fai, could you have the next slide? So I'm gonna to give the context for the workshop today with the typical code. Like you access the Asia Pacific regions are among like most connected globally, but they remain structurally included from shaping the policies that govern the internet. Is looks like the critical issue in the age of AI and digital transformations. The session will explore how unequal access to infrastructures, policy knowledge, and participatory mechanisms continues to marginalize youth and particularly those from rural, low income, or otherwise under deserved communities. So from 2023, UNESCO Global Education Monitoring Report from Southeast Asia confirms that digital literacy remains a significant challenge. Nearly 40% of teachers in the region report insufficient training in using digital technologies in the classroom, which directly impacts to the quality of education and the students' ability to gain the necessary digital governance literacy. Furthermore, the exclusion is deepening. The 2025 UNESCO report highlights that 450 million young people around lack adequate skills for a modern job market, threatening to leave a generation behind. The AI reshapes the economy. So next slide, please. So now it's just like more detail what we're gonna to work on today. This is like agenda. So first of all, we're gonna have a framing challenge. So the speaker, he will give a reflection of his personal experience in your advocacy. And later we will have like the role playing simulation. So we're gonna to split into like three breakout groups. We work on the specific case studies, and we're gonna to brainstorm and find the best policy making recommendations for the kind of specific groups we're representing. And after that, we're gonna synthesize and present it. After we discuss into the breakout room, we're gonna to represent your specific groups and present your specific and but concrete recommendations for that. And the last one, we're gonna have the use access manifesto and for call action to actions. And I urgent to need your voices and to have to reshape the new capacities and equipments, and how we can equip and empower them for the next generations. Okay, now I'm gonna to stop and let the stage for Rifai for his presentation. Where he will share kind of perspectives on his personal experience in the youth advocacy. So I'm gonna to share this now.
Okay. Should I start? Okay, so thank you so much, Minh, for the wonderful presentation that you mentioned earlier, that how the digital access for the youth and policy literacy, and how the youth participate. There's so many issues, especially in Southeast Asia. So yeah, first of all, my name is Muhammad Rifai Sahida. I'm currently working in Indonesia in one of the NGOs in Indonesia. Uh, and on the other hand, I'm also founder of Garis Hitam Indonesia. So Minh just mentioned that this is actually empowering women prisoner and ex-prisoner who didn't have access to get a job, and also they got negative stigma from the people, and we do like campaign and training for them about to raise awareness of a woman prisoner. And I'm also in my hometown, which is Mamuju. I'm also founder of it's called Turun Tangan Indonesia. It's actually what we're doing. We're going to rural areas and we're teaching youth, like a youth and student there, to get to know what just happened, like updating technology, and to give them literacy about kind of like AI or technology. Just and we do sometimes like teaching for them in the rural areas in West Sulawesi. So yeah, can you go next? Next. Oh, okay. So, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, that a lot of in Southeast Asia or Asia Pacific regions, there is like more than over the 60% uh, they don't have access of internet. So especially for rural areas in Southeast Asia and or Asia Pacific, they don't they really have a difficult access to get the internet or digital access. So that's why it is something that really important. As you know that Indonesian also have a lot of even though Indonesian trying to develop the every village in Indonesia, but there is still like 24,000 villages. They don't have access internet until now. However, in my province, West Sulawesi province, there is still a lot of villages that more than 200 villages that don't have access for internet. So as a someone who grew in my province, so as you know that my province, West Sulawesi province, is really far away from Jakarta, which is the capital city of Indonesia. And the education there are so poor, and especially for rural areas, a lot of youth there that doesn't have access for the internet, even though they don't know what their future goes. So as a someone like a for me, it's really sad, and I feel like it's really challenging for me to to engaging youth there, and all, especially for children to get a great education, because in my hunters call it Mamuju. Mamuju a little bit how to say, I would say it's downtown, but the internet are good, but it's like 20 kilometers from my city, that there's still a lot of still a lot of villages that don't have access for that. So it's really sad to see that. That's why I create a lot of movements to engaging youth, especially for that I mentioned before that there is Turun Tangan project. Is actually a project with my friends. When I go to one of the rural areas, I see that so many lack of education, and many of them doesn't have a plan in the future. They thought that I don't want to going to study or going to going to in the university. They just say like, I just want to follow me my father. It is because they don't know exactly what's going on in this world, because as you know that there is no internet there. So can you go next? Next. Yeah, this is actually one of the picture when I went to the Rose area. So you have to go to buy this card, this specific card that you to go to that areas. So most of the youth there, uh, they don't know how to using, even though they don't have a handphone or a laptop. It is hard for them to use that, because it's I would say it's useless to use that in this area, because there is no internet at all. So right now, based on the data from my province, there is 30% there is blind spot of and weak signal in my province, which is yeah, I'm so sorry. That's like 196 villages doesn't have internet yet in especially in my province. As you know that my province is one of the smallest province in Indonesia, and there is others province like have a lot of they don't have really much access of internet, especially like Papua, or I would say Eastern Indonesia, or still have a really difficult to get the internet access. It's like a same problem with my province. So yeah, this problems all, like given so many struggling many things for young people there who grow in this place. This area is called Kopeang. Kopiang is one of the village in my province, and you need to walk and also using this specific car to go to this place, and it was so I feel like so feel sad to see the situation, even though so when I went to with my friends there and we do the project there, it was really great to see how excited they are to see the technology. We just showing some laptop, and then we give them some videos. For example, like the technology right now, like you can making we just showing like a trash how to say, like landfill technology right now. They do like really excited to see those, and we also showing like robots, and then it is really excited for them to see those picture and videos. So can you go next? So if you see this picture that first on the left, it is these are what we were doing with my friends. So we teaching like as most of my project is actually working with the elementary school and also junior high school, because most of them doesn't have dreams, especially in rural areas. So we're trying to engage them through the uh, yeah, we're trying to engage them to get to know what's going on in this world, especially the technology are increase a lot and improve a lot, and we want to engage them. We encourage them through the games, and also it's a some games activity with them. So yeah, that's what we were doing. And in the if you see that I'm doing actually, this is a leadership programs with the high school student in my province. So this is a we I'm trying to encourage participation of youth to to join our programs, to join this program, to go into those areas, and sharing their knowledge to especially for student for I mean student in the rural areas. So yeah, can you go next? I think it's just only yeah, but I think what I'm saying last word before I'm going giving back to Mint. Uh, Right now, I'm working with the woman prisoner. We empowering them. I knew that if you know that a woman prisoner doesn't have access internet in the prison, so we work with them to teaching. I my team and I believe that woman prisoner have a prisoner in the prison have a opportunity to getting update any kind of technology, because after they get out in the prison, they can also integrate with the people integrate with the people. So that's what I'm doing right now. So basically I'm focusing on women prisoner right now. We often to work with them to to do the capacity building and also training. uh, this week's actually, we just released our new programs, which is encourage women prisoner to making traditional food, but also it's also helping them to educating them about healthy lifestyle in the prison. So yeah, I think that's how just just how to small sharing to you guys, because I just have 50 minutes, so I'm trying to talk all of the what I am doing, and also showing what Indonesian facing, especially the internet access in Indonesia. So yeah, I think I'm back to you, Min. Thank you.
Okay, now thank you for your really thought-provoking insights. So all the problems in Indonesia or the youth advocacy and how we can empower them for the next ready to go generation. So it should be like the topic we should be discussed more. And now I gonna to have more like 5 minutes for five to have anyone have questions for specific area in specific topic in Indonesia in the context. So just feel free to ask him and what kind of skills or experience you would like to dive into. Yeah, we have 5 minutes now, and then if and then I'm gonna to move to the more exciting topic that the role playing simulation. So five now, could you please reshare again my presentation for the next?
Oh, okay. Hmm.
So we hear in the chat box. So Jeannie say that this is the same happens in Sri Lanka, rural areas like where children don't get access to technology and access and internet. So this is like the the general issues in like the continents and the Asia Pacific, and we now we have a case in Indonesia with kind of the practices in youth empowerment. So we're gonna to apply that how we can apply it in the broader context and in a broader framework. How we can empower and give them skills and capacities to deal with the. Okay, now can I stop this? So could you please share the, all right, let me stop this one. Okay, fine. Are you happy to share? All right. Now I'm gonna to if anyone so still have no questions, I'm gonna to move in the next exciting topic that we're gonna to work into the role playing simulation, and we will have policy cooperation. We will have 15 minutes and three regular rooms. So the task is like we will split into three groups, and each group we will tackling the distinct scenario representing the structural policy value. And our objectives in this game is like we co-create the specific conflict recommendations, actionable policies to solve your inside challenge. And into each breakout rooms, we have three specific roles from the advocacy, from like the civil society, NGO, NPO, and we are also represent like the policymaker. And you have 15 minutes to this for discussion, and your final recommendation and must be posted in the shared document here. And I will drop the link. Could you move into another? Let me check. So, could you take check again? So I didn't see like the next. Yeah. So the next one. So now you can see that each group we have like each challenges. Like group one, we have affordability challenge, and group 2, we have the design challenge about the policy literacy and inclusion. And group 3, we have tokenism challenge. We will tackle the problem of participation gaps. And here I put into the docs, like we're gonna to work the recommendations after we move into like breakout groups. We're gonna to work into that, and gonna to present later after 15 minutes. So now, Rani, could you please help me to create like 3 breakout room?
Yep, the room is ready. I'm gonna open the room now and start the 15 minutes. Okay, see you guys in 15 minutes.
And yeah, okay. So welcome back, everyone. So thank you for your words. So now we will move directly into the presentation. So each group we have 3 minutes to represent and have the concrete consensus of 3 benefits from policymakers, youth advocate, and the stakeholders. And presenter, please state your core conflicts and the recommendations, and we want to can't wait to hear from your insights now. So group 1, are you ready for 3 minutes from now?
I don't know who is group 1, but I was assigned to group 1. So this is Alvin. I guess I'll try to summarize what we discussed, and any member from the team can also jump in as well if possible. So I don't have access to the question. I kind of quickly read it, but we did have some discussion about it. So the scenario is about a telco basically offering a free service, but the free service has certain limit in the internet speed. Unfortunately, I don't think we have a really concrete kind of policy, but I think the conversation certainly goes into the direction of either increasing governmental subsidies, because that certainly is a money problem, isn't it? The other thing that we discuss is about CSR as a method to actually improve the situation, which I think is quite interesting. So basically, this is commercially driven, and we haven't really come to any conclusion as to if we say there needs to be some kind of free basic access to everyone, what that free basic access actually mean. If you have access to email and text, but not social media and HD level YouTube video streaming, does that mean you're not qualified as you don't have the basic access already? So there's no conclusion to this point. So because of that, I think if we are to resolve this problem, it would be good for the government and the community to encourage the company to actually provide and improve access from a more of a CSR kind of perspective. That's probably what we discuss in summary. Yeah, back to you. And by the way, anyone from group 1 want to add anything?
Yeah, we have 1 minute from now, so feel free to give any insights.
Hello, this is Priyanka. I was in group 1. We also had a brief conversation. We briefly touched upon how this ties into questions of net neutrality and how it's important that there shouldn't be stifling of access to certain websites, and how that should be the basis of it's the basic right on which access to the internet should start any plan or any subsidy, like all the subsidies, any plans that you make should be based on the foundation of net neutrality, and how with the affordability, it's subsidized, sure, but it should be the quality of the content that you get shouldn't be lesser than what somebody who can pay more can get.
Okay, nice. So we're gonna move to the group 2. They represent the problems about the design challenges. Could you? So everyone in group 2, just feel free to give any like recommendations or just like insights from like from the test case. So I just okay.
Okay, maybe like Cheryl, you want to share your thought that you mentioned earlier in the
Yeah, people they put like
Sure,
the
okay, I can. Cheryl, who of course is trying to be in two streams at once, so tries not to be too vocal on all of this. Anyway, let's see. We made relatively extensive notes on our conversation in the Word doc. It starts off with noting that for very large numbers of linguistic particular policies, if we're looking at a lot of linguistic variation, the necessary engagement of community needs to be looked at, although when you have the Indonesian example was a good one that we discussed, 700 odd different dialects and linguistic differentiators. That's an awful lot of people to try and get around a table. So it would be particularly wise to look at getting some sort of, if not harmonized approach to policy from those communities of interest separately in their own space before they come to the wider policy discussion. At least try and come into primary interests. There may be, a bifurcation or some other model, but if you can get one voice, great. But if at least know what the sounds are coming from that very large number, all the better. There was a point made about the requirement to communicate with government and the regulatory aspects of all of that. And to mention in the case of this hypothetical that the concept of having an extensive 50-question technical form in a single, we assumed, language, which would not have been one of those of any of the minorities, and may very well not have been designed for universal design or accessibility, that those issues are sorted out. We also noted that there could be an opportunity for incentivization and subsidization of universal acceptance in these models, and that we could encourage in some way with the right policy for digital tools for accessibility and minority languages to be more meaningfully connected. We didn't discuss, but there were notes made with regard to specifics around literacy with relationship to disabilities in various sectors, and that certainly is part of the basic data that one would need to identify at the beginning of these programs. And I think the other thing was, of course, capacity building, education, outreach and engagement, which at least in our conversation, which was not extensive on this, should in fact be firmly as a government responsibility, although one would argue that the funding, resourcing, this is just Cheryl's idea, just I'll hasten to add, resourcing and support for that sort of thing could very well come from any industry or private partnership players involved. Thank you. I think I've kind of done it, but gee, thanks for tossing me the hot potato.
All right, thanks for your insights. So now we're gonna move to the group 3. So we're gonna do the quick, so we have the time conscious a little bit. So group 3, could you represented now?
Hi everyone. So I'm Jenny from Sri Lanka. So I'm excited to share what our group worked on the tokenism challenge. Our group was tasked to co-create actionable recommendations to make high-level youth policy summits more inclusive. So especially we looked into situations where participation is limited to youth with university IDs, institutional emails, or formal nomination, which often leaves out rural, marginalized, or undocumented young people. So after discussing, we came up with three key solutions. First one was to guarantee spots for youth from rural, underserved, or marginalized communities, ensuring summits including diverse perspectives, not just an elite cohort. And the second one, the pre-summit education and hybrid participation models. So before the summit, community dialogues or online consultations could be held in local languages. Youth who can't attend in person or don't have the institutional credentials could still contribute through facilitators or digital platforms, and this would ensure their lived experiences are valued, not just their formal credentials. And the third one is open calls for participation. Instead of requiring institutional IDs, we can use simple, accessible forms and partner with local youth networks like NGOs and community centers to reach those outside formal systems. So together, these are the recommendations we aim to make the youth participation structural but not symbolic. So thank you. So anyone from my team, if they would like to add something, please go ahead. Thank you.
So everyone have any insights would like to share? Or now, or are gonna to synthesize that and we to move to the manifesto youth access. So now thank you again for your those insightful and kind of explicit proposals. So now I'm gonna to have key structural insights that in these scenarios, and we move beyond how digital inclusions is not only about the infrastructures, but it demands intentional design and the access and authentic representation. So Group 1, they did a good job to remind us the affordability. So without equality is like inclusion in disguise, and issues not only about infrastructures but about the meaningful connectivities. And Group 3, they expose how an accessible system and language barriers to silence marginalized voices. And Group 3, we challenge the cotonistic participation. We call in for the structural forms, and then to appreciate the experience over credentials. And this is insightful. So it urged us to reimagine the digital governance as a commons, inclusive, participatory, and trust. So now we're gonna move to the last one. So we as the young advocates. So we work on the young people. Sorry, could you move here? Then I will give you the link for people can access. Let me check. Here I give the manifesto here. Feel free to give some insights because we are the youth advocates, so we work with the youth communities mostly. So we not only need the insights from the young specifically, but we're looking for like more about like the broader framework and the studies, and we learn from that, and we have to have more structural framework how to work on with the young people than only specific. So any ideas or insights, so we really appreciate it, and it's good like the really lived experience for us to have more activities and perspectives on the futures. So feel free to give any idea from now, and your voice matters. And could you? I'm gonna to take the stage now. Could you leave the stage for me? No. I'm gonna show like this Lido so the people can see it. Let's see. Okay, here. So we have more than 1 minute left. So any idea from the people, we really appreciate that. So here we have some insights that the impact. This is a look at this principle for us to working on with the young people, and inclusion, individualism, empowerment, social justice, humanitarianism. We can see more and more people give the insights in that, so we really appreciate that. So now we have more than 30 seconds. Okay, people, okay, so we don't have time. So we have Ronnie, could you have do me a favor 1 minute so the people can click the last. Okay. Oh, now maybe we already passed the time, so about the documents and the manifesto I'm gonna to put here so the people can stay alive, and yeah, any idea from the manifesto, so it's really like strong motivation for us to keep aligned and inspired for us to work closely with the community. So thank you for people joining this workshop. So I hope you find any like interesting, fun insights, meanings in the workshops, and again, I'm really appreciate and thank you for your any insights from the manifesto. And it's get me to refine that later for our next projects. Okay, thank you so much. And I'm gonna
Thank
to
you.
we're gonna to move the work to another events.
Yep.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Trung. Thank you, Rifai, for a great presentation.